Hello and welcome in. Today's video is about why your creativity is more important now than ever, especially when the world feels like it's literally and figuratively on fire. I know artists can feel guilty about pushing sales or even that they have the freedom to create when others don't. I know that I've been thinking about how strange it feels to create. I feel guilty as an artist to be pushing sales of my designs when the world is in the state that it is. But the world has always been chaotic, and humans have always created. We've made art through plagues and wars and revolutions and economic collapse, so this chaos is not new. The impulse to create despite it, or even because of it, is just part of being human. And when the news is overwhelming and the economy feels like it's collapsing and politics just feel like another episode of Game of Thrones, I know that it's important that we continue to create. So today I'm just going to sit in the basement and I'm going to paint. I don't know, it's definitely not an act of rebellion. I'm too risk averse. I'm not a rebel. I'm not an activist, but this is just like an act of hope. I've seen other artists post memes and push sales, all while saying, I know that it's hard out there right now, but book with me. And I feel that way too, as I return to my regular work schedule after my summer holidays. I'll be releasing new art, making new marketing campaigns, updating my website, planning markets, and pushing sales. And I know that I'm going to be feeling the tension of the weight of the world, but I think I should work through that emotion and continue doing what we do best as artists, which is make stuff. I keep trying to remind myself that two things can be true at once, and one person's experience and perspective of the world can be completely different than another's. I mean, even with the economy, some people right now are having the worst time of their life and are financially suffering, where another person is experiencing an industry and a business that's booming and prospering better than it ever has before because of the conditions. I've talked about fairness before, and this is one of those things that makes you feel as if you're unlucky, or maybe that you're the luckiest person in the world. But there's always going to be somebody doing better than you, just like at the same time, there's somebody doing much worse. So I think that you just have to work with what you have and work with what you can do, because there's still things that you can do no matter what situation you're in. And that's the thing, is creating is going to give you a sense of agency in a world that makes you feel powerless. I think the last number of years, there's been many moments where a lot of people feel like they don't have a choice and that they feel powerless. I don't know. I mean, there's been so much happening. Inflation, war, politics, news cycles. Making something is one of the few things that you can control, and it reminds you that you still have impact even in a small way. Because if artists stop creating during hard times, the only narratives left are fear and control. And a lot of the times, if things are chaotic, the loudest voices are often negative, manipulative, or just the most extreme. But your creativity can offer an alternative story, one that includes beauty or nuance or emotion, imagination, and that matters more than ever. It'd be easy to say, what's the point? Why paint when the world is burning? Why create when everything feels unstable, uncertain, or unfair? But maybe that's exactly when we should create. Maybe it's how we can process the chaos. I used to think I needed everything to be perfect before I could show up and make things, but I don't know. Now I know I just need to show up. I had to Google my way through some of these feelings and remind myself of our long history with art. Even our ancient ancestors carved into stone and painted vases of discontent. And I mean, that's always been a thing, whether it's graffiti or protest signs or performance art. It's when institutions fail or become oppressive, that's when art kind of gives people a voice. Art is probably most needed when things are most uncertain. And creating is a form of mental resilience. Making things can help combat your anxiety and depression, especially when the news and social media feel like a constant panic. I don't know, like it can be escapism, but it can also just be regulation. Creativity is healthy, self-directed, and it's a way to stay mentally strong. For myself, this video is part of a 90-day challenge I've been doing of one long-form video a week. It's definitely stretched me in ways I didn't expect, not just creatively, but sometimes emotionally too. And showing up every week has taught me that discipline is not cold and rigid. It's, you're romanticizing your own life. It's a love letter to your future self, and just I don't know, we can promise ourselves that we're not going to abandon our dreams even when the world feels heavy. And you definitely don't have to wait for things to be better before you start, because if you keep waiting for the world to calm down before you make anything, you'll just be waiting for forever. And creating during the chaos helps build the habit of showing up regardless of the conditions, and that's real discipline. Art can inspire action and shift thinking, and I want my pieces to just bring a sense of like calming, relaxation, bring a smile to people's faces, and a sense of normalcy. Sometimes your work can spark an emotion or even change somebody's attitude for the day. I'm definitely not overly political, and I don't want to be, but maybe that's because I have the freedom not to be. So if you're watching this and you feel like you're drowning in the noise of the world, I hope that you make something today. Not because it's going to fix everything, I promise you, it won't. But because it reminds you that you're still here and that you can. Art is how we process complex emotions and build connection. It's easy to get emotionally overwhelmed by the constant noise of your social media apps, your phone, work, family, just the street around you. I don't know, making things helps you understand your own feelings and reactions. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody. It doesn't even have to make sense to you. The world can be chaotic, but art is proof that we still care and still dream. We haven't given up on softness or on each other. This is your gentle reminder you don't need permission to create. The world is messy, it definitely is, but you should make art anyway. And the economy sucks, but you should be romanticizing your Tuesday anyway. Everything feels uncertain, but you should make what you wish existed anyway. Thank you for being here and for watching. I'll see you in next week's video, which is the last one of my 90-day of YouTube series. Bye.